Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, everybody. This is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you in the month of December, since it is Christmas time and the holiday time, about The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, the Christmas special, a mid-solstice tale. I don't even know what season this is. It came right after the first and before the second. This is when they decided to make a Christmas special. I've never really truly 100% gone into depth about this show. Not bad, I'm yawning. It's like late. It's cold, and I'm tired. Sorry, y'all. But needless to say, I don't like this show. I don't like this show at all. The only reason why I'm reviewing this one is because, like, I remember they had a Christmas episode, so I watched it. I'm like, okay, I might as well talk about it at least, you know what I'm saying? Because I do plan on talking about this show at some point in the future. I just never got around to it. But needless to say, I do not like this show. This show should have been amazing. This show should have been dark. And it was never none of that stuff. And it just got stranger and stranger towards the end. My bad. And I know a lot of people love this actress who plays Sabrina. It took me a long while to get used to her. I just wasn't feeling her in the first couple of seasons. I liked the aunts and a couple of other people, but it was just something about her and the way they wrote her that just I couldn't get into and stuff. And so this episode was weird and strange, and so much stuff started happening, and it's all like, y'all can't write. And what's sad is that the dude who wrote the comic book is the same person who created the show. And yet, okay, I've never read the comic, but I read the synopsis of it. I read what the characters are about. I went on YouTube and somebody basically just read out the entire comic. And I'm just like, wow, that's cool, that's awesome, that's dark. Then you get to the show and it's like the complete opposite. It was just strange. It was just weird. So, this happened right after the first season. And Sabrina has now signed her name in the Devil's Book and everything. Her hair is now turned white. The reason why her hair turned white from blonde is because in the older comics, her hair was white. And so for the Melissa Joan Hart show, of course, it was yellow. And then in every other cartoon type stuff, it was yellow. Or blonde, I should say. And so it was blonde in the first season, but then they turned it white for the second to match that the comics and stuff. And so now her power should be like enhanced and all this other stuff, but the dude who wrote the comic and did this show to mess all that up too. Oh my god, he messed it up. Anyway, so we get a flashback of yesteryear, as they call it. I don't even know what yesteryear is, because when you see the kids in the show, they look young, so it can't be last year. And so it's Susie and it's Sabrina when they're younger. Now I'm gonna call Susie in this because in this episode and in the season she was still Susie before she had like her change into Theo and stuff. So Susie, the people they cast, the little kids, look just like them. I don't know if they grafted their faces and doing CGI on these little kids' bodies, or they just found little kids that look like them. But my God, they look exactly like them. And Sabrina talks about all she wants for Christmas is her mom. Her mom is dead, along with her father. So the present day is here, and Christmas is going around. They have a week until Christmas, and Zelda. This is when she kidnapped Father Blackwood's baby because it was female and he was gonna kill it. And so like she tells them to light a Yule log and everything. You don't do it for celebration, you do it to keep the bad spirits away for protection, because Christmas solstice time is when all this like demonic stuff starts happening and stuff like that, right? So this is supposed to keep all the GB the whole like GB what that thing called, the GBBBs? No, I don't know, the hoopa joops, keep them away. I'll just use that word instead. It keeps the hoopa joops away and everything and all this other stuff. So Sabrina is also upset because Harvey and her broke up. See, remember when she cast a bunch of spells and it affected him and affected his brother, and he found out she was a witch and he don't like that. And he comes from a family of witch hunters and stuff. And when when his brother died, the dad turned into like an alcoholic, and so he hates magic and everything like that. So he doesn't want to really have nothing to do with her. But then those dead witches came back in the last season finale, and then her hair turned white, and she's all like, "I can't be with you. I have to like go to like this special school for witches and blah 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 blah." So anyway, she sees him and she gives him some coloring pencils because he's like an artist, and she tells him they're magical. He is not happy about that. He don't want no magic, nothing. But he takes them and everything. So Susie has a job. She's like an elf. And her and Roz, they go to her job, and she's like Santa's little helper. And then Roz looks at Santa Claus and has a weird feeling. It's her cunning coming in. Now, since I do say this is spoilers, I'm going to spoil something ahead in a couple of seasons. It turns out the whole cunning thing is like a defect of her witch powers. Yes, Roz is a witch, but she doesn't know that yet. She won't find out until like the last season. Anyways, but her cunning gives her like these premonition type things. And she never had that in the comic book, so they tried to like jazz her up. Not jazz, that's the actress name is Jazz, but they tried to jazz her up for like the show. And then soon as she leaves, Santa is talking to Susie, and he's telling her something about like those little statues the wax statues, and one of them starts to cry. The next thing you know, he like knocks her out or something like that, and then he ties her to like a table. And needless to say, that's one problem I have. And I'll tell you why in a little bit later. So, over at the Spellman's house, they're getting ready for like Christmas and stuff like that. And Sabrina really wants to see her mom. And since this is a time where a lot of spirits and stuff come, she wants to have a seance. But her aunts won't let her. So, she decides to ask the Weird Sisters. And they say yes. So, they have a seance and everything in the Spellman house. And so they conjure up Sabrina's mom, but of course the spirit can't talk. They have to talk to one of the girls, and her mom lets her know she's in some type of limbo and they're in danger, and then something strange is going on. The Yule log went out, and next thing you know, you hear a bunch of little kids making hee 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 type noises and stuff. And then so one of the Weird Sisters think Agatha's all like, something's coming, like something's weird and something like that. And then next thing you know, the aunts come back and they're furious and they make them leave. Now, before they had the seance, Sabrina went to her school to go talk to Madam Satan. I forget what her real name is in the show, but the demonic thing is Madam Satan. And so like she's in league with Satan and she hates the Spellmans. They really ruined. Oh my god, I'm so tired. I'm yawning everywhere. I'm so sorry. It's cold. I'm tired and everything. I'm trying to do this. It's like 1 or 12 in the morning or something like that. Probably 1, I think now. So Madam Satan hates the Spellmans. She hates Sabrina. So she tries to make her life miserable by like backfiring and everything. She is the one who made the fire go out. And now there's a type of like ghost like things in the house, but they don't know what yet. So then, Zelda, she tells her, like, I loved your mom. She was my brother's wife. Even though she's mortal, if you needed help, I would have helped you. But, doing it this way just wasn't like smart. So next thing you know, everybody's doing their own stuff in the house, right? And then all of a sudden, all this weird, crazy stuff starts happening. And then you start hearing little kids' voices and stuff. And I'm just like, okay, well, what's happening? This must be going to get good, right? And so they're messing with Ambrose's stuff, opening the doors, moving things around. They're moving, like, Hilda's, like, making some cookies. And They're moving like the cookies around, no, the cookies, but like the rolling pin around, and then Zelda's with the baby, and then all of a sudden the baby disappears. She freaks out. She gets Hilda. They look for the baby. The baby is in the oven as the oven is preheating. So when Ambrose comes, they realize who they are dealing with. They are dealing with, I think, Yule kids, I think they call them. And they're dealing with this specific witch. And so they tell Sabrina the tale. There's a bunch of kids live in the mountains. They're dead. Why? Because their mom ate them and everything. And Sabrina does come up with a really good line talking about what's with witches and cannibalism. Because they always eat like people and stuff in this show. But they don't ever really show it. So anyway, the mom made like a pact. My bad. Had made a pact with somebody else, and then they ate their kids, and they make Ambrose leave the house because this witch hates men. Like, what's I don't understand modern day television. So the witch hates men, and she eats men, so Ambrose has to leave, and so they have to summon this witch so that she can take her kids and leave and everything. But there's a problem. She loves kids, and whenever she sees the kid, she likes to take a kid. So they have to hide the baby. So Sabrina goes below with the baby. So she comes in, the little witch lady, and they all like, come get your kids. She's like, all right, fine, I'll come get my kids. Well, the little baby down below starts to cry. She's like, you have a baby in the house. And she tells them straight up she wants it. But of course, they're not going to let her have it. She's all like, well, I'm a mother. Y'all stole this baby. I can take care of it. Blah, 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 blah. It's really weird and lame how they're just going to give the baby away, but they don't want to. And it's just a weird plot. Like, it's just a strange plot. Like, if she really wants the baby so bad, you'd think she would fight them for it. But she doesn't. They just talk back and forth. And then, next thing you know, Sabrina's mom shows up in her ghost form, a weird crown around her head. I think some dead witches gave her that crown so she can be like, see her daughter or some weird mess like that. It's never truly ever explained that well. And the actress who plays Sabrina's mom is not doing a good job. I am not feeling this woman's acting at all. Her and Sabrina have no chemistry whatsoever. And so, like, she tells them, all right, y'all are gonna, like, pull for it. It's like some kind of thing y'all have to do. And y'all have to agree to this. So they both agree to it. What's gonna happen? She makes a black circle in the middle of the floor. And they put the baby in there. And the next thing you know, both women have to pull on the arm of the baby, and they do. Whoever is the strongest can pull the baby to them gets to keep the baby. But then what's going to happen if they rip the baby's arms off? What the world is that? But then the dead witch woman agrees to it. Zelda doesn't want to, but then she later does it too. And it's like, that's how they going to determine this crap? By pulling a baby's arm? So they pull, but Zelda gives up because she don't want to hurt the baby. The woman takes it by default, and they leave. But then next thing you know, Sabrina and her mom tricked everybody. That's not the real baby. See, the thing about Sabrina in this is that Sabrina always finds a third way, similar to that of James T. Kirk. Option A and B is not good enough for her, so she goes with option C, which she makes up. It's just, and it's kind of like they're gonna do that and make her into like a hero witch and save the day all the time or something like that, Now, let me cut to Susie, because during this whole time, Susie is still laying on that table, and this demonic demon thing that used to be Santa, that on the mall, has her on the table, and he's gonna turn her to wax, and she's screaming and she's hollering. Nobody knows she's there. So who the world's gonna save her? Why is that even a plot? Why are there two different plots in this show? And one is where a girl's literally about to die and ain't nothing to save her. This is what happens all the time in this show. Sabrina and her family does their own thing. Then Harvey, Roz, and Theo, used to be Susie, do their own thing, and they have to get themselves out of trouble. Sabrina rarely saves them, and it's just like, What? Isn't this supposed to be the Sabrina show? She's supposed to save. That was what Melissa Joan Hart did. She used to save people when she messes up with her magic and stuff. So, next thing you know, Susie's dad goes to her room and she's not there. I don't know what happened to this man. He disappeared after the second season. They just never wrote him back into the show no more for some reason. So, wait, did he die? I think he did, I think. I remember, no, wait. He got sick in the first season and then he lived, but they just wrote him out after the second. Anyway, so he calls Ross and he's all like, she never came back home. So, okay, this was so weird. So, back at the Spellman house, right? Ross goes there. And back to the baby. So Sabrina cast a spell on Ambrose's teddy bear. Cause Ambrose has a teddy bear for some reason. A grown man got a teddy bear, and he's a witch that's been alive for over 500 years and has a teddy bear. But she placed a spell on that to make it look like the baby. And then they're all like, "Well, once she find out, isn't she gonna be pissed and come back here?" But she's back in the mountains right now. And so Ross come over and she's all like, Susie hasn't come back home, blah, blah, something's wrong with her. I had a vision about like Santa Claus and stuff like that. And then so, this was so weird. They leave the baby with Ross, right? And now they know about Susie, so now they're gonna go rescue her. But they want the help of the witch they just tricked. And Sabrina's all like, dude, we just like tricked this woman. She's gonna be pissed. And they're all like, oh, no. See, what that witch hates the most is when people harm kids. Because of that, she will not harm them no more. And I'm just like, what? But I forgot to mention, when she took her kids back, remember I said her ghost kids were around the house? To make them go back, she wanted some alcohol. And then that was the exchange. Because first, Hilda offered her some cookies. Yes, offered a dead witch some cookies to take her kids. I don't understand this show. But instead, she wants alcohol and a drink. And so she'll take her kids after she gets the alcohol. Who writes this crap? The comic book was never like this. So anyway, they go there, right? They go there to rescue what's her name. And then so the witch lady's the one who rescues her while the Spellmans wait outside. And so the witch lady, she goes in there, she has her kids free like Susie. And then she's all like, leave, girl. Well, first she asked her, do you have anybody to take care of you? And she said, yeah, my dad. Because she was going to take Susie. But then she's all like, you don't want to see what I'm about to do to this man. And we have no idea what she does to him until the end of the episode. They never showed the good part on this show. And it's supposed to be dark. So anyway, they go outside, they kumbaya, they go home. And then we see the witch lady in the woods. And we don't see her invisible kids, but they're still making that snickering noise. And then we see the demon dude, his arms up, turned to wax. And I'm just like, and he wasn't even like cool looking when he was a wax like type person and stuff. This show sucks. So Harvey's over there. One thing I forgot to mention is that Sabrina knows that Harvey's dad's a drinker now. So she has some eggnog that's spilled to where he'll never drink again. And she gives it to Harvey's dad. But when he comes back over, he tells her, thanks for helping my dad out, but I know you use magic. And he tells her in a very somber voice, don't ever do that again. Don't use magic on me again or around me or on my family. I don't want to see no magic, nothing happen. And that's why I can't accept these coloring pencils you gave me because they're magic. And I just don't want nothing to do with magic. And I'm just going to leave. And he leaves in a cold-hearted fashion. She's hurt. I'm like, dude, this Harvey is mean. But what don't make no sense is that later on, he starts to date Ross, and she has the cunning. Then he finds out she's a witch, and he still dates her, and he hangs out with tons of witches. So this makes no sense for them to break up, and for him to break up with her. I never liked the whole idea of him and Ross together. I never liked the idea of Sabrina and Nick together. It's Harvey and Sabrina, for crying out loud. And both shows never wanted to do that for some reason. So Zelda realized that the baby is not safe at their house because that evil witch lady could always come back or something else. So she's gonna give him up to, or give the baby up to some, I don't know, some place that will take care of the child. And she's heartbroken because she wants the baby so bad and stuff. And so like Sabrina's heartbroken over Harvey, and then it ends in a weird kind of way. We see these three devilish demonic looking demons come out of this like cave mountain thing. I forget why. It's been a long time since I saw the rest of the season. And then that's it. This was a strange Christmas episode that had two plots, and one that like the plot that was like really good with the whole Susie thing, that was just like glossed over and rushed. Then the part that was there was just boring and weird. Oh yeah, also Sabrina mom comes back and some bizarre way tells her this and that. This is stupid stuff, so it really not important what they talked about. And it's just like when you later learn out about the whole Sabrina mom thing and all this other stuff and where Sabrina powers come from and all this other crap, it's handled so terrible. This show sucks so much, but yet people love it. And I don't know why. It's not consistent. They keep changing stuff around. They keep retconning stuff. It's supposed to be scary, but it's not. And then there's a part where Madam Satan, she has a gingerbread house with the gingerbreads, and she is one that has orange hair, green hair, white hair. Why? That's a Easter egg. Because like I said before, Sabrina had white hair in the comics, but Hilda had green and Zelda had orange, or vice versa. But of course, in the shows, they always had blonde in this Melissa show, and then one has blonde and the other has red in this one. And so that's supposed to be like like a little Easter egg type thing. And she bites the head off Sabrina because she don't like Sabrina. But then she later starts working and starts liking Sabrina. And this show is so stupid. It sucks so much. How do you ruin your own comic book? How? That makes no sense. Bah humbug. All right, everybody. I'll talk to you later. Bye.